Picture yourself in a beautiful green field, grassy hills surrounding you on all sides, grey stone houses sticking out like sore thumbs in the beautiful nature. Surely this is an easy UK lock and you've secured yourself those beautiful BR country points for the week. But oh no, disaster strikes. Two red banners and Union Jacks appear on the right hand side of your screen as you realize your worst nightmare. This isn't the UK, it's Ireland. I'm sure a lot of Geoguessr players find themselves in this situation quite often. The UK and Ireland are two very similar looking countries and they can be very hard to distinguish even for experienced players, especially in heated situations like Battle Royale Countries Final against some guy who's guessed Singapore correct every single time. How does he do that? But fear not, my friends, today I'm going to show you how you can get the UK-Ireland 50-50 correct every single time, and we'll also check how often I fail the 50-50 myself, because I have some angry redditors I have to disprove. Of course you can play along if you want to, I'll send the challenge links in the description, so let's get into it and remember to subscribe if you're not already. Let's go! So let's start with the most basic information about Ireland. So you can see at the bottom that you have like this big halo of blur almost, and there's also like this grass strip in the middle of the road. So both of those are a sign that you might be in Ireland instead of the UK, although remember that the UK also does have this, it's just more common in Ireland. Next thing is this stone fence. Now stone fences is also not a thing that's unique to Ireland, of course, but if you see a stone fence, it probably might be Ireland instead of the UK, and all of these three things combined makes me think it's probably going to be Ireland and not the UK. And you can also see, if you look around, there's a lot of very lush green vegetation, and if you know Ireland, you know that it's often called the Emerald Isle, and that's because Ireland is super green. It's green almost everywhere you go. So lush vegetation is also a sign that you might be in Ireland. And if you see like big hills which are like a bit yellowish, you might probably think that it could be Ireland if you're not too familiar with it, but Ireland is usually very green, and like more yellowish stuff is probably more likely to be the UK. So let's just stand like in the middle of the country, like here. And yeah, next one here we have a house right close by. Let's look at it. You can see that the roof of this house is black and the walls are like kind of creamish, yellowish white color, and those are very commonly found in Ireland. So if you see one of these houses, you are probably going to be in Ireland instead of the UK. Also over here you can see there's big hills and very green lush nature. You can also see a lot more of those houses over here, like white houses with black roofs. It is super common. So I think I'm gonna just send over here, close to Northern Ireland maybe. Yeah. Okay, next one here, we can see a very clear sign that we're going to be in Ireland instead of the UK. You can see this sign here is in the American style instead of the European. And Ireland is the only country in Europe which uses those kinds of signs. So if you're in the UK, you will never find those signs. They are exclusive to Ireland. And you can also see that there's some cars here which has a license plate with a blue strip on the side of it. And that's also a common sign you might be in Ireland. Also in the UK, cars have yellow license plates in the back, whilst in Ireland they're white both front and back. So it's pretty clear here that we're going to be in Ireland. As it's pretty urban here, I think we're just going to be in Dublin. Okay, next round here, and you maybe remember what I said, that the vegetation in Ireland is very lush, including the hills and the mountains. And here we do have some pretty big mountains, but as you could maybe see, they look a little dead. And don't get me wrong, it could still be in Ireland, but I get a vibe that this is probably more likely to be Scotland instead. And you can see this house is in the distance, has like grey brick architecture, which does exist in Ireland, but I think it's more common in Scotland and Wales and England. So I am pretty sure we're going to be in the Scottish Highlands. And also some small roads in Ireland usually does have some yellow strips on the side of the road. I'm going to get to that later. So let's just guess somewhere in the Scottish Highlands, like here. It was a bit further south, but yeah, still Scotland. Okay, and now we're going to be in a parking lot. And as you can see, we have a lot of yellow plates here. And you can see most of them do not have that blue strip I was talking about, although these two cars does have the blue strip. Yeah, well, there's not really much to say. Also remember, if you are in England, you will mostly find the English language, whereas in Ireland and Wales and the other Gaelic countries, you might find Scottish, Welsh and Irish. Although we don't have any language here, but it's a very nice tip. But I think I'm just going to send like in Birmingham or something. Yeah, and it's just over in Manchester. Okay, first location here, you can again see it's super lush, very green, as is very common in Ireland. We have a building over here that's cream white and black roof. And what does that tell us? Well, we're probably going to be in Ireland. Although look at this, there is a car with a yellow back plate, which we will most likely not find in Ireland. And there's also another thing I'm noticing, which is the road markings here look quite British instead of Irish. And those hills, yeah, I guess they look Irish, but here I think we do have a so-called British bollard, which is like road markings on the side of the road. And Ireland does not have those black and white bollards, they have green and white instead. So although the rest of the round looks pretty Irish, so I guess we could be in Northern Ireland here. So I think I'm just gonna go for that, somewhere in Northern Ireland. Yeah. Okay, here we have another place. As you can see again, we have this Gen 2 coverage with the big blur under us. This building looks more English than Irish in my opinion, but there are some signs it could be Ireland. First of all, we have these pastures in the distance, which are like very green, and they're split apart by hedges, and that's something I find very commonly in Ireland. Big fields of grass which are split apart by hedges just like these. And you will probably find those a lot in Ireland. This halo under you, as I said, Gen 2 coverage, much more common in Ireland. So maybe this is not the most Irish round I've seen, but I think it will still be Ireland. And this house in the distance also is white with a black roof. So I think we're just gonna send on the east coast here. Oh, and that was a pretty good guess. Okay, another round. Okay, this is very interesting. Firstly, you can see the houses over here are red bricks, which even though there was a red brick house last round, it's more common in England than in Ireland. And the next thing you need to know about UK and Ireland is this antenna, because in Ireland we only have, or we basically almost have, just Gen 4 and Gen 2 coverage, while as in Gen 3 coverage you will kind of have this somewhat unsaturated image. The image quality is not bad, but in Gen 4 coverage the image quality is much better, and this antenna I believe is mostly found in Gen 3 coverage. So Gen 3 coverage is much more common in the UK, so this is probably going to be the UK instead of Ireland. So I'm just going to send like close to Leeds. Okay, another round, and here we can see a grey brick building or stone building. So that's a very, very Gaelic thing. And we also have a sign here, which is in a language that may look like Irish, but I think it's actually going to be Welsh. And there's also very big rocky mountains, which is in the British Islands, mostly found in Wales. So I'm gonna say we're gonna be in Wales here, probably in like a somewhat hilly area, right around here. Yeah, it was Wales. And okay, we have another White House with a black roof. You can also see we have like this blue blur on the back of the car and no antenna, which probably means it's Gen 4 coverage. If you're not very good at distinguishing the Gen coverage yet, just think if there's a blue blur on the back of the car and the image is very clear, it's probably generation 4 camera. So this tells me it's likely that we might be in Ireland because it has a lot of Gen 4 and Gen 2 coverage. The hedges on the side of the road, as I said, is also common in Ireland, so I think we're just gonna go close to Dublin here. Oh wow, that was actually amazing guess. I don't know why, but I've been guessing very close today. Yeah, another pretty good score. I think we're gonna take one last round and we'll cut the video there. Okay, let's go. One last game. Okay, so firstly, we got these long white center lines in the middle of the road, which is a sign that it's going to be the UK. And as well, we can see there's a speed sign and some round sign. I don't really know what those mean. And some other red triangle signs in the distance, which if it was in Ireland, one of those would probably be like the yellow square. It's probably likely that we're in the UK here. So let's just get a guess in like close to London, I guess, here. And yeah, this was the location we had the other time. So let's skip it. We've also had this one. Again, this is a new one, I believe. Yeah, so we have the yellow plate backs here as well. Long white center lines. And, well, it's flat. There's not much else to say here. You can pretty clearly see that it is just the UK. This one might be a bit more challenging and interesting. As you can see over here, there's like the gritty plains, which I was talking about. However, it seems quite yellowish everywhere. And if you look at this road too, you can see it has white lines on the edge of the road. And if I am correct, I don't think those can be found in Ireland. Instead, what you will find in Ireland are those yellow stripes with like space between them. So if I would guess, this is probably gonna be Scotland, as there's also very little vegetation. The lack of trees is also common in Ireland, but again, the road lines and the yellowness of the landscape tells me I think it's Scotland. Let's see. It was Wales. That is very embarrassing, but at least I got that it's not Ireland. So, well, it's a pretty bad guess to end off the video, but I hope you learned something, and feel free to comment any suggestions you have for another video. So yeah, I'll see you later. Goodbye.